It's my pleasure to be here with Marshall Ramsey, and I'm not going to try and tell people what you do because I might mess it up. So
I
I'm
draw
gonna.
pictures.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I no way I can mess that up. Huh?
Exactly. I mess it up. I do it all the time. But
Now, what people may not know is that you come from a line of educators. Talk a little bit about that and how you could possibly give some advice to teachers to keep them, I guess, engaged in the classroom.
well, I'm going to sound like the beginning, I guess, of the New Testament. I'm the son of a teacher. I'm the husband of a teacher. I'm the brother of a teacher. I have a grandmother who's a teacher. I have two grandmothers who were teachers. I have an aunt who's a teacher. I have a great grandmother who was a college professor, and a great great grandfather who started Wood College in Matheson, Mississippi.
Wow.
So if I say anything bad about teachers, I will have vultures come down me and pick me apart. So I have to be very nice.
So now, as it relates to just giving tidbits of what you might say to a teacher just to encourage that teacher to stay motivated, if you will.
Well, I tell you what, I'm also a father. I've got three boys, and somebody said, "Well, do you homeschool your kids?" And I believe me, if you want to do that, that's great. I said, "Yeah," as soon as they come off the bus. And my wife and I have believed from the get-go that our kids, that's their secret to being able to survive in this world. But teachers out there, you're doing an amazing job every day, and sometimes you don't get the credit that you deserve because you are changing lives and making students be able to change. Seriously, I want this world to be in a good shape when I retire. So we really need to educate this generation that's
Yeah.
coming up.
Well, the importance of art. Speak to it.
Yeah, it's my mom's an art teacher. She's retired. My wife's an art teacher. That she fell into that, and she of course has a model art school through the Mississippi Arts Commission. But there's so much research that backs firing up both sides of the brain. If you can get the creative side and the left brain side, and get those firing up at the same time, it's incredible the difference it makes. And one thing I've discovered, and I'm a teacher too. I know this may shock you. I've actually taught 2 college classes,
I can see that.
and I loved it, and I loved engaging with the students because I ended up learning, I think, as much as the students did, and learning from them also. There was this two-way communication, and I think teachers are very fortunate to get that. But the one thing I've discovered is that people don't necessarily want to be educated sometimes, but they love to be entertained.
True.
Yeah, and I've done that for years with my editorial cartoons. I take on issues and draw about it, and people pay attention to it, and next thing you know, they get a little bit of an education.
So now you're a published author.
Yes.
Which do you like best? Being a cartoonist or being a writer?
Well, it's kind of like asking me which child I like the best. Some just depends on the day.
Right,
Some days I like one kid better than the other. It just depends. I love drawing the editorial cartoons because it's kind of what brought me to the dance, and I've been doing it since I was 3 years old, drawing pictures. But I love to write because I had a teacher one time, and she's fantastic, and I still get in touch with her. But she said, "Well, you can't write them. I'll make you the cartoonist." And so there was part of me that said, "Okay, that's worked out really well because I've lost the Pulitzer twice, so something's going well." But I became a really good writer too, and I discovered I could write, and I love doing that. But you know what I love to do the most? I love to get up and speak in front of people because you get that instant feedback
Wow.
from people. So it's a lot of fun, and so I kind of envy teachers in a way because they get that every day.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this.
Sure.
In the political, where we are politically, your job, is it easier or more difficult?
Well, the tough part about what I've got going on right now is there's so much stuff out there to comment on. It's not dull. We live in interesting times, as they might
true.
say. But there are some issues out there that I think are disturbing, that are being put forth, and I think it's time for some very serious discussion of what's going on.
Right. What
Yeah.
else do you want teachers to know?
Hang in there. You know what? There's a lot of people that love what you do and support what you do and believe in what you do. I remember one time I was on a talk radio show host. The caller called in and talked about how easy teachers had it. And I just started laughing. And the host was like, "Why are you laughing?" I said, "This guy couldn't handle it. You can go crying home to mama." See, I'm like an uncle because I get to zip into classrooms and go entertain for about an hour, and then I get to get out. But day in and day out, changing lives is serious business, and it's hard business, but it's very rewarding. And I just want to say, from me, I really appreciate everything that every teacher does.
What he said. I
Yes.
feel the same way. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We appreciate you.
Oh.